YouTube, my name is Legend and welcome back to Can They Beat DLC, and for like the third week out of 4, it's again coming later, not because I was sick, but because I just had two long days at work, and I was gonna do this yesterday, but yesterday was an especially long day at work with people being cunts. There's no other words for it, that's just the way human beings are. But anyway, let's get on to the video. Episode 9 of Can They Be DLC Season 3. Trois is 3 in French. I was going to say 2, but it did come out right. It came out a combination of the 2 words. But anyway, this video today is going to be about Dark Souls and Can They Be, well, DLC for Smash Ultimate. News for Smash, there wasn't any that I can think of, apart from people getting mad that Evo did not have a Smash reveal, which called it, I guess. But let's get on to the video itself. So, will it be DLC Dark Souls? Well, kinda, sorta, I don't think so. There is a possibility. Definitely there is a possibility. Like anything. That Sakurai and Nintendo just go a little bit crazy and choose a character from Dark Souls. But if Dark Souls is to follow the same alignment as every franchise ever in Smash, which again I don't see them breaking the rule unless it's a very, 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 very special case, and I don't think any third party can have it, or has, honestly. There's the only ones I can see are in fact Dark Souls and Undertale, and even those are really stretching. Is first characters, for playable characters, main characters first, then everybody else. So it would be, if Dark Souls would get a character, would be the Chosen Undead, which is basically just a suit of armor, which is, again, it has the same problem as Steve, not in the animations department, in making the character animate, because unlike Minecraft, characters actually have more than two animations to do stuff, or their body parts do animate well, and instead just move one frame they're doing something, the other frame they're doing another, without any movement during it, or semblance of movement doing it. Is the animation of expressions. Even though it could animate, they could probably animate it well when it comes to having like herd animation and all that stuff, but at the same time, unlike say Master Chief, a character like the Chosen Undead feels very much like, because it's a suit of armor and they would have to make him, you know, to give it its own unique, like a big hulking, would they? I don't know, I never played Dark Souls, I really can't say much, but I'm guessing this is how Sakurai would do it, because we've kind of seen him do this already with big hulking characters, making them slow and methodical. So basically a beefier, slower version of Ike, you know, waving around its sword and what other contraptions they could have. It would probably be a sword. We don't see very often characters that have multiple weapon choices use multiple weapons. Bayonetta can use a shit ton of weapons in her games. She just gets the guns. Breath of the Wild Link gets a shit ton of weapons in his games. He can use 3 or 4, which are the boomerang, which already was a part of his moveset, the bombs, which different but still part of his previous moveset, and the bow and arrow, which were already part of his moveset. But then you have like a crap ton of weapons that they use. Let's not even get into the Fire Emblem cast, how many weapons they could use that are not utilized even for a little tilt could do it. Heck, Ganondorf now finally has a sword, but he still doesn't have things that you would associate with Ganondorf being a wizard. So I would guess that the Chosen Undead would have just a sword. And then again, Dark Souls, unless I'm mistaken, is also very much based on slow and methodical gameplay, of thinking what you're doing, high risk, not high risk, high reward, but like contemplating, like you hit a challenge, figure out how to do it, beat the guy, how to find the pattern, how to beat a boss, which would be that is incredibly hard to do or to beat. And then if Chosen Undead is also not the most popular choice even amongst Dark Souls, as far as I know, and people would more lean to characters like Solar of Astaire, which has something going for him, which would be the fact that he had the first third-party amiibo, or what was the name of it? The Artorias, which was the DLC that kind of had also the false, probably maybe false negative or positive negative in the false positive. That's how it is on the Smash DLC Google theory. But both of them fall under they're not main characters or the protagonists of either the most iconic protagonist of a series, say like Cloud, or the most recent protagonist of a series that may or may not end up being the most iconic in the case of what's his name? Joker. Jesus, I forgot the name of Joker. So they don't fall into that category. They fall very much in the category of Sans, and then the Chosen Undead in a way kind of feels like a very more bulking, slower, bulkier version of Ike, but maybe with the emotional animations like getting hit and all that stuff, emoting animations, very much like a Minecraft Steve. So can they be DLC? Maybe as a Mii costume. That it feels right, like it's just a suit of armor with a sword. You could easily do that for the Mii Swords Fighter. You don't even need to do it and call it from Dark Souls either. You could just do it as a medieval knight aesthetic, which nobody owns, so they could easily do it, quote unquote, if they wanted to. But if we do get a character from, I was gonna say if we do get a character from Namco, we could get it as a spirit, but as we've seen, spirits very much rely on the franchise itself, not anything other from the company. So yeah, and costumes also kind of, well, apart from the Sega ones, they were very much, the Square ones were very much in line with the series. So can it be amiibo? They already have an amiibo. It would be very much the costume, and even then they could just make a knight costume and call it the knight. So that'll be it for this part. So let's go over to the comments, which we have 3, 2 from Candace and 1 from Shantae. So first, Terry Servitson in the Candace video said, Trigger Inc. is a big animation studio in Japan. I could see Candace become an assist trophy and maybe a Mii costume if Mii fighters in the next Smash Bros. Game. Return in the next Smash Bros. Game in the next Smash Bros. Game. Okay, so you kind of repeated that 2 times in a row. That's the thing that I also do a lot, like typing and then repeating the same line twice. It's weird when I would like to know why the human brain does it without realizing it, but I don't see it getting into Smash Ultimate in any form. In regards to a character from Dark Souls, I could see maybe a Mii costume or of a character and maybe some spirits, but I'm highly doubtful. Yeah, because the spirits come with the character and it's with their own franchise, and a Mii costume they could easily just do a suit of armor. I can see. I know Candace depends on how they do. If Shantae gets in, how they do the spirits. Do they go only franchise exclusive like they've done with Joker and Hero, or they go more, here's the indies that we couldn't fit into the original release and we want to do it now. I could see you getting in as both a costume, maybe a costume and a spirit. For an assist trophy in the next game will be cool, honestly. Maybe if she could kind of replace Shovel Knight if Shovel Knight becomes a playable character next game, which would be interesting, I think. Then Obese Rob in the Shantae video said at 2 minutes 56, you mean Banjo for the world. He's massively requesting the West as well. Kenzvaru will probably get a spirit, if anything, in my opinion. Well, I kind of have to disagree. Even if Japan requested it, let's be completely honest, it's exactly the United States and Europe were the ones keeping it alive and really giving it importance. Japan, sure, they requested for it, but here's the thing. According to the Source Gaming poll from 2015, I think, Banjo-Kazooie ranked 10th on that list, and that list obviously included characters that were already veterans. But if we remove the 4 veterans, they still come 6th. And this list doesn't include, it includes Ashley for whatever reason, even though it doesn't include anything else. Doesn't include one thing that's very clear cut of like, we don't know how much this list could be verifiable, because it doesn't include the hero from Dragon Quest, and that absolutely was the Japan announcement. So I've yet to see a poll from Japan that actually, I mean, then again, internet polls are not very reliable. Remember when people were doing them, and then all of a sudden Bayonetta had won, none of the major ones came out first in the fighters in the Smash ballot. Sure, it was amongst realizable characters, but realizable and negotiable characters probably also meant the characters like, maybe Banjo beat it, but like, for example, a character like maybe Ridley could have been one of the characters that beat it, like Goku and Shrek would have been it. And I don't know, the last time Banjo-Kazooie was relevant in Japan was in 2000, late 2000, but I don't know how popular he was. I can't really say because I'm not in Japan, I don't speak Japanese, so I cannot really go to Japanese websites, and the only thing we have is the 2015 poll from Source Gaming to indicate any sort of popularity. But if we go by the poll, then a character like Hero is not popular in Japan because it didn't feature in the top 19, and we all know how that became, how that looks now. And they also just saying like the list itself didn't include Waluigi. And wait a minute, I'm seeing one now from a Source Gaming pool from 2018 that didn't include veterans for Smash Brothers, just newcomers, and Banjo-Kazooie ranks lower than Crash Bandicoot. It would have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, am I counting right? Yeah, 4, 5. It still came 6th, but it's behind Crash Bandicoot, who was not in the previous list. But hey, it was ahead of Rex, Ridley, and Shantae, so that kind of answers the question of where would Ridley be. But he's still very much like behind Crash Bandicoot, and Crash Bandicoot is not that popular of a character in Japan. And he beat Rayman and Rex and Pyra, and that also goes with I don't know how popular it is in Japan. I can really discuss. I can look at these things, and even these things are like, we cannot base it on the internet, because let's be completely honest, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. And finally, also Obese Rob, yeah, on the Candace video at 10 minutes 15, my guess as to what happened is YouTube just let Nintendo copyright those songs because it had Mario in the title. YouTube lets that happen sometimes. I watch a YouTuber named Noggin, and one of his videos got copyrighted by the company that does Pokemon anime, but the video had nothing to do with the Pokemon anime. Well, even Pokemon works very differently to what Nintendo does, because and I know because I had this happen to me, and I know a lot of people had it happen to them as well. You could make videos on Nintendo's E3s, on reaction videos and all that stuff, and reviews, and you could have the videos up. Even if it was Content ID, the videos will still be up. And I remember it happened to me, one of my predictions videos for an E3, I legit had to read edits apart and remove the Pokemon footage, because it would just, not just Content ID, they would remove the video. They'll be like, it's blocked. So Pokemon does differently, but my guess about the songs is the exact same. It's just, you know, an intern maybe was like, oh, it has Mario in the title, so let's copyright ID that, Content ID that. I don't think it has anything to do with Geno being in Smash. We don't even know who owns the songs for that game. With things being the way they are with Square, and all the whole deal with the game being split already between Nintendo and Square, it's a weird thing. But that'll be, and also with the whole thing of Pokemon anime, companies that work in animation, that own animation stuff, they're far more harsher when it comes to their Content ID than other companies. But that will be it for this video regarding the Dark Souls character. Next episode will not be a character episode. It will be a season 2? Will the Fighters Pack 2 happen? Should it happen? If it does, how and when will it happen? And in my opinion, how it will go and how many characters should it be. So anyway, I've been Legend of the S. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.